Welcome into topic 5 DQ1. Let's go ahead and get to improvement data. All right, per usual, first thing, type in our name. That'll update all of our information here. And then next, what we need to do is we need to get what's called improvement data, which is just after minus before. You can see we have after and we have before. Let me give a little bit of a rundown. It looks like we have a bunch of wells. There was before treatment, the number of E. coli per milliliter, and then after treatment, we also took a measurement. And so that is what this experiment is. Now, if I do equals, I'm going to take my after minus my before. Enter. And what I can do now, I don't want you to go type that in every box, right? We have our little shortcut. We click on the cell, we go to the right corner, we have a black X here, and we can drag all the way down. Now keep dragging, it goes all the way down to 120 on the rows here, and they'll all autofill and update. So that is step 1. Type in the name, get our improvement data. I will see you in a second for step 2. Welcome into step 2, where we're going to calculate some statistics with built-in functions. And we have 3 columns, and I'm going to show us how we can do this as easy as possible. We have before, after, and improvement. And the good news is, right, before, after, improvement. And if you look over here, we have that kind of same setup, before, after, improvement. So I'm just going to worry about the before data. Notice that the before data starts in D4, and it goes all the way down to D120. So for mean, I have equals average, and I'm going to say D4, and for a range, we're going to put colon D120, end parenthesis, enter. And again, for right now, we're only going to worry about this column here before. For median, we have equals median, and it's the same thing, D4 to D120, enter. For standard deviation, we have equals STDEV. Now, if you accidentally use .s or just the normal standard deviation, that's fine, but we really want to use .p for population. It's going to be D4 to D120, enter. And now for range is going to be the maximum value minus the minimum value. That kind of gives you the spread of how much data is covered. So we have equals max of D4 to D120 minus min of D4 to D120. Enter. Now don't worry about the decimals quite yet. Now if you've done this properly, and I recommend you doing this row of before first, because we can actually do these and they'll auto-populate, right? Because the columns are exactly in the same setup, before, after, improvement, we can highlight and we can drag over. We can drag 1 and we can drag 2, and they're all going to auto-populate, and you can go double check as well, right? Now we are using column E, which is where our after data is, and improvement, right? Column F. So if we do this first column, the other 2 will come nicely. What I would recommend now is these are all supposed to be 2 decimals. And so let's go ahead and highlight. Right, and it does say right here, last sentence, format each value as a number with 2 decimals. So we'll highlight, right click, format cell, number, 2 decimals, OK. Perfect. So that is it for step 2. I will see you in a second for step 3. Welcome into step 3. It says for the improvement data in column F, right, F4 to F120, use Excel built-in function to calculate the following percentiles. Format each value as a number with 2 decimals. So we're going to do equals percentile. And again, if you use EXC here, that's fine, but I'm going to use INC for inclusive. We want the array. So notice it gives us some arguments. The array is going to be our actual data from F4 to F120. And K is the percentile. Now I know I just blocked it here, but it's the 16th percentile, which would be 0.16 as a decimal. And we're going to press enter. And we're going to do the same thing again, but now instead of 0.16, we want 0.84 for the 84th percentile. So equals percentile dot inc. Again, F4 to F120 is our data. And now we want 0.84 for the percentile. Enter. Now, if you're going through this section, you should remember the empirical rule, right? It says if we're one standard deviation apart on the left and from the right, that is 68% of our data. So that's what we're mimicking here in part 3. We're going to see it down here as well in part 4. But it does say number with 2 decimals again, so let's go ahead. Highlight, right-click, format, number, 2 decimals. Perfect. That is it for part 3, and I will see you for the very last part down here for part 4 in a second. Last part, part 4, says according to the empirical rule, if data is normally distributed, then approximately 68% of the data will fall between the lower bound, which is mean minus 1 standard deviation, and the upper bound, the average or the mean plus 1 standard deviation. Complete the sentence below using the correct formulas and cell references for the numbers of wells, the lower bound and upper bound. So, for our first part here, if we want 68%, and so what it's asking here is approximately blank of the 117 wells show a blank. We'll get to this part, right? But, well, we really just want to find what is 68% of 117 wells. So we'll just type it in, 0.68 times 117. And if you wanted to get a little bit of fancy and do the count over there, so you get the number over there, that's fine. But if you just type in 117, that's fine. So it says approximately 79.56. If you wanted to round that, that's also okay to 80. All right, now I'm going to wait on this. It'll make more sense after the lower bound because we need to do a little bit of interpretation. Right, so the lower bound of our improvement data is going to be, let's go up, our mean minus 1 standard deviation. Right, that's our lower bound, our average minus 1 standard deviation. Enter. Our upper bound is going to be equals our average or mean plus 1 standard deviation. And what you should notice is these two values are very close, right? We kind of already did this up here with the percentiles, negative 18, negative 17.54, negative 5, negative 4.87. They are supposed to be close. And now what I'm trying to point out before we get to this is that these are both negative values, right? So it's saying 68% of our improvement data, and remember what that is over here. Our improvement data is after we treated our E. coli, right? It's saying that we're in the negative territory 68% of the time at least between those two values. That means we are seeing a decrease in the E. coli. So we can just go ahead. I think there's a drop down, and we're going to select decrease. Right? Now it's because my values here are living purely in negative territory land, right? It is clearly showing that between these two bounds we have a negative value, which means there is a decrease in the E. coli. So that is it for this DQ. I will see you in the next one.